Hey, I'm back. Adam Zdroik. I'm going to be talking the FA Cup final between Chelsea and Liverpool. And RotoWire, I'm at Roto Zdroik. So I haven't even looked at the slate yet. So this is going to be fun for us. We're going to look at the slate for the first time, and we're just going to see. We're going to see what it's about, what DraftKings is about. And yeah, it's been a busy day, but we're gonna have a Bundesliga article. Unfortunately, DraftKings, kind of lowballed Bundesliga and I guess Ligue 1, if you want to get down to that. But so I'm gonna be talking this FA Cup matchup, the biggest slate at DraftKings on Saturday. I'm gonna run through it, all that good stuff. Um, we of note, we do not have a cheat sheet for it. And as you can see, if you're looking through the lineups, DraftKings does not have injuries in there for these players, though they do have the injury notes. So you don't see like a player like Fabinho is listed as out, stuff like that. So as a warning. But in terms of no cheat sheets, I'm going to be just looking through, the prior matchups between these teams. If you're, watching on YouTube or Twitter here, and so I guess the injuries, we can look at those. Well, I'm just going to pull up the odds real quick. But yeah, Fabinho is going to be out. I think otherwise Liverpool are mostly fine. And then there's a chance Kovacic and N'Golo Kante play through their injuries. We'll see if they're ready to start. But seems like those guys are going to be on the squad. Don't know if they're 100%, but Tuchel basically said those guys, this is, really the biggest match left of the season, maybe of the season. I mean, they're going to finish third right now, but it looks like Lukaku's going to start, though. He's gotten a couple goals, recent starts. We'll see if Havertz is up there. Tuchel said, those two guys haven't really been working that well together. So could see another Pulisic start with Mount, and we could have James and Alonso in there. We'll see what the back line looks like because Espilicueta, he didn't play midweek. So we'll see what happens with that. But I mean, that's kind of a big question because if Espilicueta is in there, then that leaves a chance of Reece James going back to center back. He wasn't in there midweek, so it was pretty much guaranteed that Reece James was going to play on the wing. So that will be something to look at when lineups come out. In terms of the odds, we got Liverpool plus 110, Chelsea plus 250, and the over 2.5 goals minus 115, under 2.5 goals and minus 110. So these odds are, kind of similar to almost like, the Everton against Brentford match that's happening this weekend. So we're going to have, applied goal total, maybe, 1.6, 1.7 for Liverpool, and then maybe 1.2 for Chelsea. Just guessing here off the top of my head. But so you got this prior matchup, and the three prior matchups, all draws. You got 1-1, you got 2-2, and then the the EFL Cup, the other cup that they played in. This was back in, when was it? I don't know. It ended up in PKs. This is in February. 0-0. It was at 120 minutes. It ended, if you remember, if you watched that match, Kepa came in for Mendy at the end of the match and ended up taking the 11th PK, and I'm pretty sure he blasted it over, if I remember correctly. So that's what happened. 3 draws when these teams have met. But so I'm just going to read off some numbers because, I don't really know, yeah, I mean, the FA Cup numbers in DraftKings are very limited here. So that really doesn't really help you at all in terms of this matchup. So looking at the most recent matchup when these teams played in EFL Cup, which we also don't have on our site. Yeah, so the first time they played was August, and then the second time they played was January, and then this February matchup was the Cup. So Liverpool had 11 corners, 20 shots. Chelsea had 11 shots in 2 corners. Still managed, scoreless draw, I believe. So Mendy had 6 saves in that game. Kelleher had 4 saves. It was a great, double goalkeeper slate for the showdown here. And we look at the prior matchups. We have Liverpool 24 shots compared to 6 for Chelsea. We had 12 corners at 3 corners. Of course, If you don't remember this one, we had when was Reece James sent off? Reece James was sent off in the 48th minute, just before halftime. So that kind of changes a little bit. It changes a lot in terms of the corners taken 12-3. But Chelsea got the first goal in that one. That was away from home. Chelsea got the first goal, and then Salah had the PK because I think it was a red ball. Red ball? That No, it was a handball in the box by Reece James, kind of a thing. So Salah got the PK there, and then Liverpool failed to get a winner in that one, even though they're at home. So I think that was pretty relevant. And then looking at the 2-2 match, we have 15 shots for Chelsea. So this is at Chelsea. Chelsea 15 shots, Liverpool 10 shots. We have 6 corners for Chelsea, 7 corners for Liverpool. So a little more even in terms of the numbers, probably because Chelsea are at home. Even though Thomas Tuchel has liked to say that Chelsea have performed better away from home this season. So I think one of the things that stands out is that Reece James, so he got sent off in that first game. He did not play in the second game because he was hurt. And then in the cup match, he came off the bench and ended up playing 63 minutes or something. So he hasn't always been on the team. So speaking in that last cup match, we had 10 crosses for Trent Alexander-Arnold, 13 crosses for Robertson. James played 63 minutes. He had 4 crosses. And let me look at what Alonso had here. Alonso had only 4 crosses in 120 minutes. So there you go. Of note, Alonso had 9 crosses and 4 corners. I'm just giving a bunch of numbers, and probably that's not helping too much. But let me just run down the prices here. So the prices, DraftKings are kind of playing with our heads. I talked about the prior matchup. It must have been Liverpool-Aston Villa, where the pricing was incorrect. We had TAA at a discount. Now TAA captain 13.5K. Instead, we have Andrew Robertson 10.8K. Now he's at a discount. So, I mean, we see these prior matchups with Robertson and more crosses than TAA in the last matchup. So, I mean, some of that may depend on if James is there, if Azpilicueta is there, whoever's playing on the right wing. Maybe that'll change some things up. But Tsimikas had actually 9 crosses when these teams met at Chelsea, and then let me go back here. And Robertson had 8 crosses compared to 11. So it seems like, whoever playing on the left side is getting a bunch of crosses. So I think Robertson is pretty safe play here for captain. So we get Robertson, we get TAA. I know Salah is always popular in cash games, so you can go with him. But I mean, it's not. This isn't like Liverpool Villa. This isn't like Liverpool against Newcastle or whoever we've talked about recently. So I mean, we could actually, instead of going Salah here, you don't have to do that. We could go Mount. And let me just check here. I'm just going to be running around rotowire.com. Again, rotowire.com/soccer trial, free 10-day trial, no credit card required. I'm just going to be looking at all these stats because Chelsea set piece takers have often changed. Last match, we got 2 for Alonso, 1 for Mount, 1 for James. Before that, Mount didn't take any, even though Alonso was taken off at the break because he got in an argument with Thomas Tuchel. So Mount may have some, he may not. We'll see what happens with that. So you could just take the route of Alonso, 6,800. You could take the route of James at 7,000. Okay, that's pretty cheap here. So not too bad. I mean, TA is 9,000, and these Chelsea guys are 7,000. I mean, it's pretty reliant on the odds here, but okay. So I just got, Mason Mount's page up on the screen if you're watching. So we got Robertson, we got TAA, we got Alonso, we got James. Could be all set pieces right there. That could be all the set pieces. If you want to go the Liverpool route, we still got plenty of money. So if you want to go the Liverpool route, you could throw Salah in there, and then you'd be left with 5,600. With that, you could be He could be somewhere down here. We'll see if Curtis Jones starts. Do you want to start him? I don't know. You're just short of getting Thiago. You could get Edward Mendy if you want to do that route. So I'm noticing if you're a big Saramac fan, he's super heavy on going both goalkeepers in cash games. So it's not my favorite thing to do, but hey, he knows more than me. So Saramac is, one of the best soccer DFS players there is, and he often uses at least one goalkeeper, if not both. That seems to be a net positive for him in cash games. So I mean, there's got to be a reason that he keeps doing it. I'm pretty sure he did the same in this game, if I remember correctly, and when these teams had their cup match, because that was a scoreless draw, and everyone, the over under was pushing. The implied goal total was pushing 3 in that one, same as this one. So yeah, if you don't want to do Mendy, I mean, you're down here, Jorginho, Loftus-Cheek, and I guess Keita right here would be reasonable, because we don't know, but we'll probably see Keita in the midfield with Henderson, with Thiago. We'll see if that happens, but if that happens, we'll be Henderson centrally, and then we got Keita and Thiago on the left and right side. So I mean, you could go with Keita right here. You're gonna have some money left over. That's fine. I mean, in that case, maybe just go. I guess that opens up for, let's see if you just want to captain TAA, and then yeah, just plug in Robertson. So this is a pretty basic cash lineup with Salah in there. So if you don't want Salah, you can throw Mount in there. You could throw Mount in. Maybe you want Thiago in there. Thiago just isn't a popular captain play just because he's been so expensive, but he has not the worst floor just because he's getting more forward than Henderson, than Fabinho, kind of a thing. I mean, you look at his numbers against Tottenham: 17.3 points. You got the assist there, so almost a 10-point floor, 7-point floor, 6-point floor, 10-point floor. So his floor is up there. He's getting forward. He's helping out. He's creating chances. He's getting shots. Maybe some defensive stats in there. So like if you have the money, Thiago's right there. Yeah, why not? So pretty basic for cash games. You just got to decide, do you want Salah? Let me just pull up the goal odds here instead of looking at this. So Salah plus 135. They're okay odds, nothing overwhelming. And then the best odds for Chelsea are, I mean, Havertz is plus 240, but then you got Lukaku at plus 275. This is at DraftKings. Those odds are weird, but whatever. So you have that in there. I mean, you don't even need Salah like in this lineup I just gave out. Just go Mount for any possible set piece, and probably will have a better floor in Salah in this one. And then you can probably plug Thiago into this lineup. I guess you'd have to captain Robertson, but I'd say Robertson may be a little more popular in captain just because he's so cheap. Sorry, in cash games, popular captain, cash, cheap, whatever. Last C words here. Uh, so Alexander-Arnold will be popular as usual, but it may not be. I mean, midweek we may have seen 50+% in cash games just because he was cheap. But now Robertson's cheaper, so he will get some looks. And then you also have Alonso, you have James, you have Mount in there. So Alexander-Arnold probably still be the most popular guy, but Robertson probably number 2 there in terms of popularity. And then, the Chelsea guys are fine too. But, cash, pretty simple build right there. For tournaments, that's where it gets fun. So what do you want to do with tournaments? Do you want to go with the goals, the last couple times these teams have played? Or do you want to go, even if the scoreless draw, I'll end with a goalkeeper. Let's start with a couple, goal heavy matches. So, the January match, we got 2 goals. We had Kovacic had a goal, Conte had an assist, Pulisic had a goal. So pretty random for Chelsea. And then you got Salah with the goal, Mane with the goal. Nothing too surprising. And then let's look at the first matchup when it was 1-1. Liverpool 7 shots on target because they were up a man. So we got the Salah PK and then the Kai Havertz goal from Reece James. In that cup match, 10 shots on goal. So, I mean, you could play for those floors. I guess it's not. There just isn't a stat place that's easy to I guess. I don't want to promote anyone else here, but I'm just going to use who scored here for to look at the number of shots we had in this last cup match. No free ads, of course. Just 1 second. Yes, they do have the numbers here. Okay, so let's look at the numbers in terms of shots. So Liverpool had 20 shots. Salah had 5 shots. Van Dijk, 3 shots. Diaz, 4 shots in a start. Mane, 2 shots. Lukaku. No one really stood out in terms of Chelsea. I guess Mount had 4 shots. Pulisic had 2 shots. So obviously, wide range, nothing. I guess Salah is the guy that stands out, which kind of the case. So, like if you want to go that route, there you go. In cash games, he'll get his shots, that kind of a thing. So, what do we got here? So you could really go. It depends what you're going to be left with. If you want to spend up on one of these guys in a tournament, what are you going to be left with? So it's much easier to captain a Chelsea guy, and I'll just try and do a dummy lineup here if you want to captain Salah and see what we can come up with. So assuming Salah is in there, probably want Salah. You probably want Robertson. We've seen in these games, these guys are getting 10+ point floors. The only way that that doesn't work out for like a Robertson and TAA is if there's 5-6 goals in this game and they're not involved in any of them. So I think those guys are pretty automatic. You could fade them, sure, go ahead, but for the most part, that usually doesn't work out. We saw in this last game, it was up and down. TA and Robertson had a ton of crosses. Maybe not the same for the Chelsea guys, but still. So we got Salah, we got Alexander-Arnold, we got Robertson. Do you want a Chelsea piece in there? Maybe not. We could. I assume Diaz is going to start, and Diaz looks like a pretty decent discount here, 8,600. And so we got the 4 Liverpool guys, and we're down to 9K for 2 spots. So, in this situation, like we saw Van Dijk 3 shots in the last meeting against these teams. So, Van Dijk, why not get one of those goals off a set piece? So that's down there. You have, as I already mentioned, you got Keita. I guess we're going 6 Liverpool guys. Okay, well, one into that. Maybe we just get a bunch of Mendy saves. You could put Mendy in this lineup. Not crazy. Even though Salah is captain, you still could get a bunch of shots on goal. Even maybe it's 2-0 result, but maybe Liverpool have, like they've done in this matchup, 6 shots on goal, 7 shots on goal. So you could plug Mendy in this lineup. It may work. We'll see. You probably, if you're going for like a 2-0 route, you probably want Alisson in there, maybe above one of these other guys. So that's something to consider. But with Salah captain, you're probably looking at 2 puntish options here, 2 spend down options. So that's kind of what you're looking at with the Salah captain. So let's look at Lukaku captain. He's just cheaper. Sorry, I'm just getting notifications here. Neymar. Okay, all right. Yeah, we have the big 9-game Bundesliga and 10-game league slates tomorrow, but DraftKings are just lowballing it, and the contests are just super small. So there's no real reason for us to go over those, unfortunately. So that's why I'm going over this one. Lukaku 11.1 captain. So let's see what we can do with that. I assume if you want Lukaku captain, you probably want another one of those pieces. Do you want Pulisic in there? Do you want Mount in there? Mount seems to be a little safer, but I do want to point out Pulisic has been playing well. It seems like this is his group he's working with here. You see, I guess he had a floor just under 5 last match. He had the goal and assist before that. 7 shots last 2 matches, 5 chances created. So okay, that's fine. Let's just say you want Lukaku, you want Mount. But in this match, maybe it's one of those 2-2 back and forth matches. We're getting goals from both sides, so you want to go from the other side. You got Salah, you got Mane, you got Diaz. Let's just say you go Diaz, cheaper, allows you to do a little more. Even then, actually, we could just why not plug? If you plug Salah in, or if you plug in 2 of the high end Liverpool guys, you're looking at the same situation as with Salah captain. So in this situation, there's not a ton of benefit outside of I guess we could plug. Yeah, you can't even get Robertson or TA in this lineup. You're just going for all the goals, kind of thing, which is kind of an extreme situation. I guess 2-2. You want all the goals, and you hope that a midfielder doesn't score. A defender, I guess you'll be down in defenders the last two here. So, I mean, even with this, Lukaku, Mount, Diaz, maybe. So James is on the wing, and you get James here. He's only 7K, and you're left with 13.5 for the final two spots. So, I mean, this is a Chelsea heavy lineup. Maybe you want Mendy, kind of a thing. Aim for a clean sheet. Not my favorite route, but I mean, you could even throw Alonso in this one, and you still got 6.7K for your final spot. So there's a chance if Havertz starts, you could get him in there too. So I mean, this is if you captain Lukaku and you go, more Chelsea, 4-2 Chelsea, 5-1 Chelsea. Seems like an extreme situation, but it's possible. No one else is probably going to have something like this. We'll see. But like Lukaku captain, Mount, Diaz, and then you got the wing backs for Chelsea, James and Alonso. And then you got whoever, you got 6.7K left. So you got a decent range of places to go with Lukaku captain. But even then, it's still not. Let's say if you go, let's try the. I always call this the Ryan Belangi route. We got Lukaku captain. You get an early goal, maybe first 20 minutes, you get the goal, plug in. Then you want Liverpool attacking the rest of the way. So you got Alexander-Arnold. You got Robertson, and let's just say a bunch of shots from Salah. So you got almost about 6K. You got 12K here for the rest of your lineup. Maybe you can go goalkeeper here, but I mean, even then, maybe just throw in James, and you're still got 4.9K for the rest of your spots. So we still don't know. The question is, we actually don't know who is taking penalty kicks here for Chelsea between Jorginho and not Loftus-Cheek and Lukaku. Lukaku took the last one, but Jorginho was not on the pitch. And then last time Jorginho took one, he missed. That's what I'm trying to say. Last time Jorginho took one, he missed. So there's that. So you got the Lukaku with the Liverpool set pieces, maybe Salah, and then maybe you get one of the goalkeepers, probably in the situation you want, Mendy. So there's that. Let's do one of the goalkeepers here. What goalkeeper do we want? Let's look at the stats here. First matchup here, we had both teams had 6 shots on goal. Mendy made. Where am I looking here? All right, I cannot find where saves are at for some reason. Okay, whatever. 6 shots on goal each team. So, and this was a 2-2 match. We had Kelleher made 4 saves. Mendy made 4 saves. Next match 1-1. I am not looking at it right now. All right, just be a second here. 1-1. Mendy made 6 saves. Alisson made 2. And then you had the other match where Mendy made 6. So Mendy's making a lot of saves in these matches. So let's just do the Mendy route. And I mean, this route, let's see what his price is here in captains. Mendy is fairly cheap. So Alisson is 93, which, that's fine. Yeah, he's a bit cheaper than Robertson, so that kind of makes some sense. But Mendy, 7,800. He's made all of these saves in the prior meetings. So even if Liverpool score 2, even if they only score 1, like maybe you're still getting 5+ saves, and he's not going to kill you. So there's still a chance that you get that Mendy, this lineup could be a winner. 7,800. As for the cheaper captain, that may be the cheap captain route here as we look. I mean, otherwise you're looking at, a center back or a Keita kind of a thing. So there you go. Let's do this Mendy route. So what do you want? What do you want from this Mendy lineup? Do you want the shots coming in at him, that kind of a thing? Do we want possible clean sheet? Do you want to play for the clean sheet? I mean, we saw in that scoreless draw. Yeah, I mean, the stats for that previous cup matchup ended scoreless draw, and then the PKs. They had a bunch of saves. I definitely think goalkeeper captain won when they played in the cup match. But let's just do Mendy. You plug in James. and Alonso. You're still getting, close to maybe 10-point floor or whatnot. And then let's say you just get a goal. Let's get the goal for Chelsea. So whatever. Let's assume this is Lukaku, not Mount, for ease of this lineup. So put Salah in there, and you still got 10.2. So you got plenty of wiggle room here with Mendy captain. Yeah, I mean TAA, Salah, you still got 1,200. So this is Mendy captain. You put James in, you put Alonso, you put Lukaku, Salah, TAA, and you're left with 1,200. So you have some places to go. Maybe you don't want both the Chelsea wingbacks. Okay, maybe you don't want Lukaku and want someone else. Maybe you want to find a way to get up to Mount. Maybe you want both TAA and Robertson. I mean, you just simple as plugging in Robertson instead of Alonso, kind of a thing. So this Mendy captain is pretty good. I kind of like it. I mean, we've seen him make all these saves in these prior matchups, and we saw in the last cup matchup at Wembley. At Wembley, this prior cup matchup was at Wembley. Scoreless over 90 minutes, 6 saves for Mendy. Sure, they pulled him to get Kepa in there for PKs, but I doubt they do that again. Not that it matters. So let's say, even with this lineup, let's say Liverpool get 2 goals. Let's say it's 2-2. You could still win with this lineup. It's not crazy. Let's say you get 6 saves, and you're still getting about 8 points for Mendy. So that's enough. And then you get hopefully that no one scores a brace on the slate, because the brace captainers, that's going to change things a bit. But maybe you get a Lukaku goal, maybe you get a solid goal, kind of a thing. Maybe TAA, or at least TAA and Robertson are involved in the other goal, kind of a thing. And then hope that James is involved in the goals as well, or Alonso if he's in there. So this Mendy lineup can go a lot of ways. I like it a lot for tournaments. So cash lineup, pretty simple. You got your set piece takers, you got all those guys. Put that together. Not the hardest thing. I already talked about it. As for tournaments, if you want to go with the goal scorer, you got Lukaku, who's kind of cheaper. If you want that Chelsea route, if you want Salah, you can do that too. But Diaz has been pretty solid, and he's had a decent floor. Assume he's going to start. So you got that in there. You got a lot of options. Should be a fun match. These teams have played up and down this season, 3 prior games. And yeah, I'll end with this Mendy captain, and let's hope for Mendy captain. Let's hope it takes us to the top. But hey, thanks for watching. Hopefully this helped. Hopefully you enjoyed this. This is kind of a last minute thing. I just thought we were gonna have a Bundesliga article, but there's no point. There's no point to do it. So thanks for watching. Again, this is for Saturday's FA Cup final. We have a 5-game breakdown for Sunday. Me, Ryan Belangi, Jordan Cooper. We talked about an hour for Sunday's 5-game Premier League slate. So check that out after this one. Reminder, Ryan Belangi just took down some tournaments midweek, and it's a similar slate to that midweek slate. I don't know what that means. We'll see if it means some positive things. But yeah, we also got Kits and Wagers. Me and Chris Owen, we discussed the FA Cup final and a couple other bets, a couple other matches, and gave some bets out. So we got a couple bets for this FA Cup final. If you need something else, need to get your fix in, I guess. But that's it. Enjoy our content for the weekend. Good luck in these contests. Good luck in your betting. I'll be back next week. Hopefully you're not sick of me yet. We just got one more week of the season, and then we got Champions League final coming up. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the Discord. All that good stuff. Thank you again.